What's up, ninjas? Welcome to the Childcare Ninjas YouTube channel. I am NyckieB, your host and founder of childcareninjas.com. So, last week we shared here on the channel that we would be going into a series of how to make your comeback in 2023. And we wanted to break that down into a couple of easy, simple pieces so that you are not overwhelmed. And we like to make everything as simple as possible here. So tonight is the first part of that series, and we are going to be talking about how you can plan to be profitable in 2023. So some of you have been in the business for a little while now. You have had your home childcare business for maybe a year or two, or maybe even longer. But you are at a point where you may be feeling like you just are not making it happen. You can't seem to get to a point where you feel profitable and successful in your childcare business. And so 2022 is gone. This is a brand new year, and it's time for you to make some changes. But the problem oftentimes is that we don't know how to be profitable. We know how to bring clients in, but for some reason, we just keep missing that mark of actually making the business work. Okay. And without profits, you don't actually have a business. So let's go ahead tonight and break it down on some ways that we can actually become profitable inside of our childcare business in 2023. So, okay, first things first. Okay. In order for you to be profitable, you definitely have basically two, okay, maybe three, if we count the last one, of ways of actually, increasing your income or becoming profitable inside of your childcare business. One of those ways is for you to obviously make more money. Another way is for you to cut back on your expenses. And finally, the third way is usually just simply doing a combination of both. Okay. So we are going to talk about what it really takes for you to do one, two, or a combination of both so that you can stop bleeding in your business financially. Okay. It is going to take some work, and it does take a lot of work to be successful or to become successful. And most people are not willing to do what that work is. So, since you are here, I'm having a feeling that you are not one of those people, and that you are one who definitely will do what it takes to grow your business, because you don't want to go back to that 9 to 5 and be burnt out, right? Okay. All right. So, how many times have you heard someone, maybe a family member or a client or friend, etc., whoever, say that one day they're going to do, and you can fill in the blank with whatever it is they keep saying that they're going to do, whether it's they're going to open their own business, they're going to go back to college, whatever it may be. You have heard someone say this to you, and you have probably maybe 98% of the time in your head kind of rolled your eyes because you're like, okay, thinking to yourself, like, yeah, you've been saying this, and you haven't even made, the first step towards doing what you said you were going to do. So once again, in my head, I'm thinking, I don't believe you, right? Okay. Some of you are probably kind of thinking about somebody very specific as I said that. Now, let's take that same scenario and look in the mirror. Let's look at ourselves. And let's say that this year, I'm going to, and you fill in the blank with whatever it is you are going to do in order to grow your business and make it profitable. Yeah. What's it feel like now? Because now we're talking about you. Okay. So, what is your immediate internal reaction toward yourself whenever you say that? Titus 3:14, I was reading the other day, and it tells us to do three things so that we are not unproductive in our lives. And it warns us to learn to apply ourselves to doing good deeds. That's work, by the way, so that we are not unpredictable. Three things: learn, apply, and do. There is definitely a message in there. Okay. All right. So if we listen to that message, then we learn, or then we know that the first thing we're going to need to do is learn. You want to move your business from let's say 5 or 6 figures, whatever you're making right now, to the next level. And that's whatever that might be for you, right? But in order to do that, the first thing that you're going to need to do is learn. And learning involves, taking courses. Like it could be reading, doing some reading or some type of research on how to be profitable. It could be actually getting a coach or a mentor in finances that can help you figure out what you're doing wrong. It could be actually sitting down with your accountant this time and not just throwing your tax stuff at them, and really talking about what you might be doing wrong or could be doing better to actually make your business profitable and to make it grow. But whatever it is, the first step you need to do is learn what you need to learn in order for you to be more profitable in your business. Now, oftentimes we think that once we get this information, that we have learned this information, but that's not necessarily true. And there's a reason we were instructed to learn, apply, and do, because basically we haven't really learned it if we don't know how to apply it. So that's moving us to the next step, step number 2 of applying what we have learned. So when we're learning, we're simply gathering that information that we need to know in order to make the step that we need to make so that we can get to where we want to go, right? Okay, so that's what the learning process is all about. And then, so you want to sit down this year and kind of think about some of those things that you can do in order to learn how to be more profitable. Okay, and there's a lot of things out there. We have things over at the website, childcareninjas.com, that you can check out as well. But that's the first step, learning and gathering the information. So once you've done that, you need to make sure that you apply it, right? Okay, so learning isn't good enough. We just said that. So now it's time to apply it. So now you have to take that information that you have learned and figure out how to apply it for your childcare business. Every business is different. So oftentimes what may work in the way someone else may apply something in their childcare business may not be how you can apply it to yours. But that is how you know that you learned, okay, what you need to do, because now you're going to take what you gathered and you're going to make it not reflect, but make it relevant to your specific childcare business. So that is how we learn to apply that information. Okay. So once you've done that, then the next step is obviously going to be to actually do it. So nothing works if we don't actually do what we say we're going to do, right? That is why we were rolling our eyes whenever our relatives said they were going to start that new business. Okay. But you're a doer, right? Because you have already gotten this far. You just need to finish out, the rest of the steps. So now it's time for you to do. So now that you have gathered all your information in the learning process and you've made it relevant to your own childcare business, so you know how it looks and what it should look like and what you need to do, now the final step is actually getting it done. And that may also entail you actually doing those steps, or it may entail you actually hiring someone to do those steps, for you. But you still want to know how to do it yourself so that, the knowledge is there. Okay. All right. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, Nyckie, but show me how in my childcare business this is going to look. Great. Glad you asked me to do that. Let me show you. Okay. So we said step 1, learn, right? Go get the information. So like I said, you have 2 main ways of actually kind of, increasing your income or increasing your profitability inside your childcare business. One is to make more money. The second obvious way is to cut your expenses, or like I said before, you can do a combination of both. So let's just say that that was the information that we needed to learn. Okay. We also might need to figure out some other steps that we might need to take to make it better for our accounting. We might need to figure out, what things we're not counting for in our taxes and things like that. But we're gathering all that information, and all this information is relevant in our childcare business. So this may look like you actually sitting down and saying, okay, let me go through my expenses for the past month and let's see what expenses I can actually cut. That is gathering the information that you needed to learn. Let's also maybe take a look at our pricing. And is our pricing actually covering what we needed to cover? Or do we need to up our pricing, and is there room for that? So think about that as well. But once you gather that information, now you can go into the step of applying that information in your business. So once you know what expenses you may need to cut back on, start cutting them. Okay. You pull them together and you said, okay, maybe we don't need to have this Netflix plan for the daycare, or maybe we don't need to spend that much money on certain arts and crafts and things like that. So definitely look at all of these things and begin to decide what you actually need and what you can let go of. That is a form of figuring out how to apply and make what you have learned relevant to your childcare business. Okay, final step is doing, right? Okay, so now that you've done this, you are going to go through what you have learned, go through what you have began to apply, and start making the necessary steps to actually do those things and apply them to your childcare business. So that means canceling that Netflix app, not application, canceling your Netflix subscription if that's something that you need to apply to your childcare business. It may mean, actually having a strong, strict budget when it comes to the arts and crafts because your arts and crafts teacher goes a little bit overboard. It may mean that you need to apply the knowledge you learned by making her actually turn in something that says, these are the crafts we're going to do for the month, and this is what I need in order to do them, and giving her a budget. However that may pan out for you, hopefully you can see how taking these 3 steps in your childcare business can help you figure out how to be profitable and begin to help you plan to be profitable for 2023. So voila, that is how we're going to bring more profits and new profits into our childcare business. You may actually, one last thing I wanted to throw in there for you is you may actually need to make some more money in a way of adding an additional service of some sort. So just thinking about those things, and like I said, making them relevant and applying them to your childcare business, and then actually doing them. Sometimes we get the answers and then for some strange reason, we just kind of sit on it and don't move. And that's usually where we fall apart. So don't fall apart there this year, Ninja. Make sure that you learn what you need to learn, apply it, and make it relevant to your childcare business, and then actually take the step and do it. That is how you're going to be more profitable in 2023. So I hope that you taking these steps and implementing them into your childcare business will help you see how you can be profitable, and you don't have to consider just throwing in the towel at the end of this year if you can't become profitable. Okay, so that is it for today. I hope that this helps you. I hope that you found this information valuable. Please make sure to subscribe if you have not already subscribed to the channel, and share it with another childcare business owner or potential childcare business owner that you may know. All right, ninjas. We have officially opened the doors for the club for this month. And so make sure that if you haven't gotten that information, there is a link down below in the description box, and you can click on that link and find out more about our monthly membership called the club. It is for childcare business owners who would like to take their childcare business to the next level. If you are looking to grow and you just need a little bit of help to figure that out, this is the place to be. So find out all about that down in the description box. Again, subscribe if you haven't, and make sure you tune into the next episode. So glad to see you. Happy New Year, and we will see you next time. Bye, ninjas. You got this.